the merciful Redeemer. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. When I got up this morning, assalamu alaikum. When I got up this morning, I said, it's been so long since I had Arabic class, I don't know whether I can handle that or not. And it dawned on me, why? Because last month was the convention. And so it has been a month in between, but I don't know why I was feeling like, like it's been, I don't know, like, well, it's like riding a bicycle, maybe I'll be able to get back to it, but inshallah, what we want to do today is embark upon a very difficult task. I warn you from the start, it's a difficult task. We want to try to, I thought the party was about to get started. The difficult task is to correct mistakes that we're making. It's hard to, but I'm asking you if you will be willing to do that. We should be willing to make corrections, to correct ourselves. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the believer, when a believer embarks or endeavors to do something, he seeks to perfect it. Now, we are believers, right? So we should want to get it right. If we don't have it right, it's no shame if we don't have it right. The first one I have on the board, it spread it faster than the mistake, spread it faster than a forest fire in California. I mean, I don't know how it happened. Almost before I could finish hearing the Imam say they had it wrong. And I'm getting on this one because we use it every day, especially when we praying with somebody else we get through, and we ask Allah to accept our prayers, right? Don't even try to remember what you used to say. Let's just get it right today, all right? All right, and I wrote the verse on the board straight out of the Quran. It's not we don't say all of that, but it's like an excerpt from it. That's what Abraham said when he and Ismail finished the Kaaba. He said, "Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim." Our Lord, accept this from us. Surely you are the all-hearing, the all-knowing, the all-hearing, samiul alim. Okay, all-hearing. And we don't say all that. We just say, I don't even want to say what you say. What we should say is taqabballah, taqabballah. All right. Here's the word that's in Abraham's prayer. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas, and the anta goes and connects with it. Antas samiul alim. Now that's what Abraham said, right. And that's what it's the brother. He's made his transition now, as I said. When I told him this back when I was in Gary, and he just, and instead of saying what we say, he would just say the whole thing. He'll still say Leroy. Leroy would just say the whole thing. He wrapped about the cup, minna innaka antas samiul. You shake his hand, he's gonna say the whole thing. All right, and make sure you had it right. And he did that, and the last time I saw him before he made his transition, he was still doing the same thing, which wasn't wrong, But we can get away with, because it's traditional just to say these two words, taqabballah, taqabballah. Now here's what happens. We have taqabbal, and we skip this lamb here, and we skip this lamb here, and go to the double lamb here. That's because those are called sun letters. So we're actually skipping this, and this, and this to get to this in pronouncing this. So this part over here is not pronounced. We're using the lamb from over here. Taqabballah. Taqabballah. It comes from the word qabala. which means he was in front, or to be in front. You know, you don't expect somebody to accept something from you if they're behind you. If they're in front. So I'm just showing you how the word, how it derived. I want to say this before we go any further too. We will always seem to be amazed, and we should have been, at Imam Mohammed giving us things. Wow. But we never bothered about trying to see where did he get it from? How did he do it? And this is what we have to do. We have, you know, we say we are, who are we?
Community of Imam Muhammad.
He told us more directly. He said, we are Imam. He said, tell him, we are Imam W.D. Muhammad. So if you're going to be Imam W.D. Muhammad, then we have to start acting like it. You see what I'm saying? So we have to begin, he said, I'm about to get into, that's my next subject. That's the next subject. I'm sorry, I won't get to that. I won't go to that. I'll get it. You get it, but a little bit later on. All right. So to accept our prayers, we must, to do this. Let's all just say it. Ta, Khab, Bel, La. Ta, Khab, Bel, La. And I'm not going to say what you've been saying, but just don't say that no more. All right. Ta, Khab, Bel, La. You got it, brother? Because Nuruddin already got it. All right.
What's the meaning?
It means, it is saying, and we're asking him, see, the ta is like a command here. But we know we can't command Allah anything, so it's a request. We're requesting Allah to accept. And what Abraham said, he said, accept this from us, you know. So, but we just say accept, the implication is that we're asking Allah to accept our prayer. We don't have prayer in here. Right. It's just that we just said, taqabbal Allah, and we know we are, yes, sir.
Is there a penthouse for you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you. And I saw it when I was sitting down and forgot. I saw it and I said, I got to put that thank you. And that's what you're supposed to do. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. I did see it when I was sitting. I said, I got to correct that. And then by the time I went over and got mic'd up and everything, thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. All right. If you see something that's wrong, let me know. You know, because but I had seen it, but I forgot it by the time I got up here. All right. So that's the one we need to correct, and that's going to take time. But if you intend to, then Allah will help you to remember. You know? And when you say it wrong, correct yourself. Correct yourself. Because they're not in that big a hurry. Don't say, oh well. Well, I am going to tell you this. My wife said she used to read to her grandmother. And she was a little girl, and she would get to a word, and she said, I don't know what this is. And there was something she would tell her, and keep on reading. So I told her I was going to tell her today. She's glad she's not here. Her grandma would tell her, just say, damn it, I'll bite you and keep on reading. Now, because she couldn't read, so she wanted to get as much information as she could. Never mind trying to find somebody, find out and being lost. I'm enjoying this, you know. But we don't want to be like that. We don't want to. Don't say so and so I'll bite you and keep on. Get it right. We got one more phrase we want to deal with also. These are just two phrases that we use often, because we do pray, right?
Yes, sir.
But when the average person, when they finish praying, they say it wrong. And in case there's someone who hasn't been saying anything, then I'm not going to say it wrong, so you will never have heard it from me. All right? But those of you who know who haven't been saying taqabbal, then now say that. Let's try it one more time. Well, three more times, and then we're going to go to the next phrase. Ta, khab, bel, la. Ta, khab, bel, la. Ta, khab, bel, la. And the implication is asking Allah to accept our prayers. We just say, may Allah accept. And what it really means, may Allah accept our prayers. That's the implication, all right? And we should want to do it right. I wanted to share this, which I was trying to share this with before, but brothers were coming in, everybody was talking. I said, well, wait, I can do it and share with everybody. I met a young man, a young Muslim, this past week, it may have been last week. 25 years old. He was born in this country, but he's come from an immigrant family. He was not a dummy. He's a civil engineer. But you know, the first thing he asked me, first he asked me, he said, were you born Muslim or did you, what they say we do? Convert. Or did you convert? I said, I converted. Now this is what this young man who was a civil engineer said, unsolicited, and we hadn't had any dissertation beforehand. He said, you know, we hadn't been exchanging anything, he said, you know, I feel that those of you who converted are going to have to teach us Islam. And we hadn't discussed anything. I hadn't shown him anything that Allah had blessed me with, but he did. They are, the point I'm making is they are waiting for us. Yeah. They know they don't know. Some of them are arrogant about it, but there are some who are humble. This is our job. So we need to stand up and do the work that Allah has given us to do. But it's just going to take a little work. That's all. It's going to take a little work. And a little sincerity. We be sincere. Allah will make it easy for us. I'm telling you, He will make it easy for us. All right. Okay. Now, the next phrase that we want to, and this one is primarily for our speakers. They're the ones who say this all the time. And there's just one word in here that I'm correcting. Just like it was just one word up there. Taqabbalah, just one word. Taqab. All right. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Some of my more sophisticated imams say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now that is not that's not as bad as the other one, because the other one, I don't know what that is you're saying. That's why I don't want to say it. But this one, but the difference is here is you're not saying what is supposed to be said. This salute to the Prophet here, this word sallam is a verb. We got the vowel in the wrong place. Sallam is a verb. Form 2. Form 2 means that whatever the action was in Form 1, Form 2 is more intense. That intensity can be either or, it can be either or a combination of immediate energy, or that would be intensive, or it could be extensive, meaning over a long period of time or by a lot of people. Both of those would be extensive, meaning it's extended over a lot of people doing it, or extended over one person doing it over a long period of time. That's what we call extensive. All right. That's what this little shut down, that little W. That's what it tells you. Whatever the action was in the first form, in the second form, there's more energy involved in it, and that energy can be either or a mixture of intensive or extensive. Okay, it can be both. It can be both intensive and extensive. I mean, it can be a whole lot of energy by a whole lot of people. Or it can be a whole lot of energy by one person doing it, a whole lot of energy over. Compare, here's what we're talking about. I want to say a whole lot. I'm just using this as an example for a whole lot of energy. You're going somewhere. You can either walk or run, right? This is running all the time, all right, as compared to walking. It takes more energy to run than to walk, right? You follow what I'm talking about? That's what that tells us. Whenever you see that little shadda on the middle letter of the root word, all right? I'm not telling you every time you see a shadda. I'm saying on the middle letter of the root word, all right? Because shaddas are used in other places also. For instance, we have a shadda up here already, right here. But that's not the middle letter. That's the letter that's used, that's actually the first letter of the root word. But what's happening is you have a sudden letter here that is not pronounced. You drop it in pronunciation and double this one in pronunciation, see? So everybody understand that now? We're not saying that every time you see a shadda that it means more energy. Only if it's on the middle letter of the root word. Okay, if this shadda were here on this letter, this is, see, the root word here is sin, meme, and ayin. Those are root letters. So if it's on the meme, then it would mean what we just said. There's more energy involved. All right. So salam is a verb. That's activity. Salam is a noun. talking about the activity of the naming the activity of the verb. We want, this is requiring activity, that we be involved in the peace process that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought to us, that we be involved in it. Here you just naming it like you are, yeah, well, that's a wall over there. You didn't help build the wall. You're not helping to maintain the wall. You just pointing to it. That's a wall. All right? We are involved in this. So you see what I'm saying? So it's not that the word is mispronounced, but it's the wrong word. And don't think, and salam and salam do not mean the same thing. They come from the same root word, but do not mean the same thing. This is action, this is a noun. Does everybody follow that? Yes, sir. So let's say that now. So what I want y'all to do is, when if a brother who speaks, and you hear him say sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say, he says sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, help him straighten himself out. Yeah, help him. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You're supposed to accept the correction. You're supposed to accept the correction. We are supposed to accept the correction. But you don't have to do it so formal as to say, subhanallah, you know. But just kind of help each other out, you know. Because we need to lean on each other in order to get this done. But this work is for us to do. All right? No, I'm getting ready. No, not you. You come up next. in the next class. I was telling the brother Manan about how beneficial your phone is. Because sometimes you know something you think about. Oh, I'm gonna look that up. And it may be 2 years before you get around to looking it up. By the time you think about it, it's not convenient. You don't have a book. You got your phone. We don't go nowhere without our phone. We feel like we're naked if we don't go without our phone. All you got to do is just turn your phone, on, bring it to Google, and I said that. I just said it to him. And I don't mean in English. I said it in Arabic. He was sitting right there watching me. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it popped up on my phone. It's still there, but. Oh, well, you know, this thing is very sensitive, so it jumped to not something about horrified death in Judaism now. You have to get it fast. No, I touched something, but brother Salim saw me do it, and somebody else saw me do it. In other words, I had looked this up in the Quran, and in time I said, shoot, I don't have time to thumb through the Quran and try to find it, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I just said, okay, Google. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it came up. So he wanted to know what kind of breed of phone I had. He thought I had a special breed of phone. Just you can say it, or if you can type in. If you type close enough to it, it don't have to be exact. But if you type close enough, it will. You know, it's like spell check. It will help you out. It will help you out. So let's use our phones more. Do we have them? Allah blessed them to come up with it. So let's use it. It doesn't belong to them.
No, that's right.
It belongs to Allah.
Right.
Now you're not going to use what Allah has given us for the devil phone. No, just don't use it for devilish reasons. It becomes devilish. It becomes of the devil when you use it for devilish reasons. You know. Right. Lord of gains. Lord of gains. So that's really about all I wanted to talk to you about today, because we got a late start, and I didn't plan a lot. But here's the other. You had a question, sister? Oh.
Yes. Can you say the last word again?
Here, salam. Thank you, because now that gives me what I intend to mention. And then I'll get if you don't have it, then I'll do it again. All speech, human speech, I don't care what language it is in syllables. That's what so thank you. Your question is right on time, but if I didn't get you, I'll get back to you. But that was what I asked. All speech, human speech, is in syllables. A syllable is the smallest pronounceable part of a word. If you leave out a syllable, you have not pronounced the word correctly. A word can have only one syllable. The word only has one syllable. What is a syllable? when you change the pattern, change your faculties to cut it off or stop, then that's a syllable. What constitutes a syllable is very easy to see in Arabic. You don't see it as well in English, but it's very easy to see in Arabic. A syllable has to have, what did you just ask me, brother? That didn't have a vowel on. He said that he just told me which one to fact check. It must have a vowel in every syllable. That's in English also. But in Arabic, you can see it because your vowels are separated. Even if you have a long vowel, you still have a short vowel sound leading you into it, all right? So every syllable must, now let's take that word that you were questioning, sister, so we can show you what we're talking about. All right, so this word is salam. Salam. Let's break it down. I'm going to erase salam now, because we're not going to say sallallahu alayhi wa salam anymore, right? Brother, teachers? All right. Okay, we're going to say salam. So let's just take this off now. Let's break this down so the sister can see plainly what we're talking about. Salam. How many syllables in that word? Salam. Two. It is three up here, but we don't pronounce the last one. You didn't make a bad mistake. It looks like because you see three vowels, but the last one is dropped. Okay, so this is really salamat. What you see on the board is salamat. But I was going to demonstrate and show you when a word is at the end of a sentence, if it has a vowel on it, you treat it as if it's a sukoon, even though you have to write the vowel there in order to spell it correctly. All right? So this word salam then has two syllables that we're pronouncing because it's at the end of the word. The first syllable is salam. I think this is going to help you here, sister. Salam. And when you have a shadda, the shadda is telling you that the first of those, it's telling you there's two letters, right? And the first one is sukoon. So we put the sukoon on the first line. Sal. And then the next syllable is lam. Salam. So now we have lam. Thank you. And when we're doing this process of syllabication, we don't actually write the sukoon there, we just leave it blank. Because you don't want to add anything that's not really in the language, okay? So when we treat it as if we act like that vowel is not even there when it comes to pronunciation because it's at the end of the sentence. If there was more coming after it, then that word would be salamat, okay? Now, see, it's two lambs, salam. And it just so happened that this last syllable sounds like the letter that we're talking about, lamb, and a double letter. That's just coincidental that they actually have the same sound. Is that clear enough for you?
Yes.
Every word, every language is spoken and read in syllables. A syllable is the smallest pronounceable part of a word. Every syllable must have at least one vowel in it. A syllable can be a vowel only, but a consonant can never be a syllable by itself. It must have a vowel to go with it. Got that? All right. So, the way to use this to your advantage is when you look at a word, before you start trying to do anything with it, first look at the vowels and see how many vowels. Like you did, that's what Warren did. He saw three vowels, so he was right in saying three. But you learn to pick it up that if it's at the end of the sentence, then you drop it. So actually it is three syllables in the word, but not when it's pronounced at the end of the sentence. It's salam instead of salamat. All right?
Yes.
That's the way to look at a word. Then, once you see the vowels, then you need to be concerned about what the consonants are telling you to do. Anybody remember what consonants tell us to do? What are consonants? Anybody remember? If you don't, this is a review, I'll do it. Huh?
How are you supposed to form your mouth?
To do what? Form your mouth to do what?
Start.
To start or finish. To start or stop a vowel sound. The word consonant, she's shy. See, that's my little daughter there. All right. She's
I don't want to be wrong.
all right. That's what consonants are for. To tell us where to start or stop making a vowel sound. Contrary to what you were taught in school, and I was one of those teachers who did it until I started studying Arabic, then Allah made it plain to me. that you were taught in school that consonants are non-vowel sounds. Lie. Consonants don't represent sound at all. Even the word itself tells you. See, when Allah teaches you, then it's so plain. Even the word itself, consonant. Con means with. In every English word you find, I don't care where it is, con means, it doesn't have to be the beginning of the word either. Con means with. Sonat is coming from the word sonar, which means sound. So the name of those letters, consonant, is telling you they go with sound. They go with sound. That's what the word consonant means. Let's write it up here on the board. Consonant means with sound. All right. Consonant. There's a combination of two words. Con, the prefix con, means with. And this sonat is coming from the word sonar. Anybody old enough to remember voices at the bottom of the sea?
Yeah.
Sonar. Sonar. That's right. That was that machine they had on the submarine, where it would send out sound waves, and then that sound wave, and then the machine would also pick up that sound wave when it comes back. So that sound wave go out there, hit something, and bounce back. From that they had designed that machine so that it could also tell them how far the sound went, because how did they know that? Because they had been studying under like Muhammad's teaching, who's told us that sound travels at the speed of 1,037 130 feet per second. So if it come back in 1 second, we know that it's too close. It's only 1,000 feet away. All right? So then, based on the intensity that sound come back with, they were able to tell how large an article it hit, how large an item it hit out there. Because if it come back and it is not very intense, then it's always small. When it would come back, boom, the measure in which it came back let them know how large it was, whether it's a small ship, large ship, based on how it came back. That's the sonar. So remember that when it comes to English, that consonants do not represent. See, all these marks, vowels and consonants, in any language, they only represent, right? I can leave this up here on the board till next year this time. It's not going to say a thing. Right? It only represents. See, that's the kind of thing we have to understand about these marks represent. They represent sound. The vowels represent sound, and the consonants represent where we are to start and or stop making a sound. All right? So then you just see how your vowel is treated. If it's on top of a letter or below the letter, that means that the letter is the consonant letter is actually first. It's to be, and so you go to that position, whatever position that consonant letter tells you to go, and you say that vowel from that position. Now, if the vowel is before you get to the consonant, then that's telling you that you say the vowel and stop in the consonant position. Y'all looking like that, so it ain't hard. It ain't hard. You just starting and stopping, starting and stopping. That's all. That's what you're doing. When you talk, you're starting and starting and stopping. That's all we're doing when we talk. Is starting and stopping. We start a sound, we stop it. We start a sound, we stop it. Now some of us start and stop so fast it looks like we're saying no. But everybody, I don't care how fast you talk, you're making syllables. If you're not making syllables, no one understands you. It's that simple. We can't hear anything but syllables. And you can't make anything but syllables. You try to run them together. You say, wait a minute, slow down. Hold on. What are you telling them? Wait, separate the syllables a little bit. That's what you say. Slow down. You're talking too fast. What are you telling them? Hey, you're running your syllables together to slow up so that I can hear the syllables and then I'll know what you're talking about. Any other questions? Thank you for asking that question, Cisco. That was one of the things I wanted to review with you, and that is that, yes, sir, Brother Manan.
I've heard, is this correct? Or is this saying anything, sallallahu?
Yes.
Alayhi?
Sallallahu. Yeah. Well, I got it up here.
Okay.
Sallallahu. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't emphasize it.
Okay.
Sallallahu. Who? Alayhi. See, the same have, but this is who and this is he.
Okay.
Sallallahu. Why? Because this is nominative. This is the one who's doing the act of sallah. What is sallah, by the way? No, this is peace over here. This is prayer. And didn't Imam Muhammad teach us that? Because they said peace and blessings be upon him. That's not what it says. It says the prayer and the peace be upon him. Go back and research what Imam Muhammad said. He said the prayer and the peace be upon him. Salah, this is the same word, comes from the same word as salah. Salah. Notice it's not a sin, it's a saw. Salah, and that is the prayer that's in prayer. Allah's prayer. Allah's prayer and peace be on him. It's not in the order that we said, but alayhi means on him. And the salam means peace in the active form with lots of action in it. All right? Any other question?
Now, I have a comment.
Yeah. And I'm so glad to see you too, sister. Haven't seen you in a while. Go ahead, Sister Mel.
Does the syllabus lead into phonics?
It is. That is the essence of phonics. That is the essence. That is what phonics. You know, some teachers teach phonics wrong, as if each letter is to be considered. No, each syllable is to be considered. I had a sister teacher at the Mohammed University of Islam before the Imam came in office. She got so mad she wanted to take my X from me. because what I explained is, Dr. William S. Gray said, I went to the same school you went to. We used the same tape. We both went to Chicago State. And I know what Dr. William S. Gray said, but Allah had blessed me to see then that if you say anything less than a syllable, you are spelling the word. You are spelling the word. And when they say, well, the first you want the child to see what, you want the child, and when it comes to the consonant, you want the child to see to understand what that consonant is telling you to do with your speech faculties. Where to start. You're not going to make a sound until you get a vowel. But the consonants do tell you where to start or where to stop. All right? But that's very good, sister. That is phonics. This is phonics bootlegged by Agin Mohammed. I mean, I simplified so. And I wasn't using the term phonics.
I'm here for understanding.
Yeah, no problem at all. Any other questions? All right. So if we can remember that for today, I think it would be a good lesson to look for syllables. Now, I know the other thing I wanted to say. Sister, remind me of one. The other one is this. Let's stop calling this a class. You know why? It gives you a bad attitude. You be looking for somebody come up here, but one brother said it to me. I didn't say it. You know, he said like you getting ready to spit it. No. Let's consider this a discussion. A discussion where you have input on it. Now I'm saying that because Allah has blessed us. We have. I'm going to talk more about it in the main talk. But we have been blessed with facilities. Allah has blessed one of our brothers to come up with something called a lifeline. We got lifeline members right here, moderators and stuff. But y'all don't even know about it. They just sit around. Y'all don't know. But we got a little brother over there. He opens up and they get up. See, you think everybody's sitting around. Yeah, these brothers they get up early enough in the morning to be on the phone to moderate the people coming in and everything at, I guess it's 6 o'clock that time, but it's 5 o'clock my time. 5 o'clock in the morning, they're up giving the greetings, and then somebody's going to read from the Quran. These are people who are dedicated to. Don't you know that Allah is not going to like it if we don't take advantage of this?
That's right.
That 5 o'clock in the morning and synchronized, and we have people who call in from California, and California 2 hours behind. That means it's 3 o'clock in the morning for them. They don't be. You can't tell everybody who's on there, but sometimes there's a sister I know out there that I heard her say where she's from in California. That means she got up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:30. To be involved.
No, 3.
Huh?
3.
2 or 3 others?
3 hours.
Oh, it's 3 hours different.
Yeah.
Oh, so they get, whoo.
It's 2 o'clock.
Well, is it 3 hours your time or 3 hours from your time or 3 hours from our?
Eastern Standard.
Oh, well, it's 3. I got it right there. It's 2 hours from our time. Because, yeah, even though you're right over there in Michigan, but you ain't even 1 hour here. You ain't that bad. You only got 1 hour. All right. So, you understand? So, don't you know that all that has to come into focus? That here, Allah, and I know what one time I wanted to ask. He's not here. He lost his aunt. So he went to a funeral down in Alabama. But he would be here, Brother Rasul. I don't need to ask him. One time I wanted to ask him, how did you come up with that idea? It's such a great thing. How did you come up with that? But I know how it happened. Allah just gave it to him because he's one who was willing to do it. Just like he just gave me Arabic. I haven't been to any madrasa, Quranic madrasa. Allah just blessed me to see it. Little by, not all at once. I didn't wake up one morning, boom, no, little by little. And the more I appreciated it, then the more he gave me. All right. All right, so we're going to, we'll be back inshallah. So we're going to end here. And then the main talk today is going to be along these lines, but there's some things that I didn't say that we will say inshallah in the second part of the talk. So we say, Rabbana Zidna Ilm. That's saying, our Lord, pour out on us knowledge or wisdom. Ilm. Ilm. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. Assalamu alaikum.